Hey guys, so about 7-8 months ago I did a video about my pack, everything that I have in it, but I didn't go into specific details about everything in the pack. So what I'm doing now is a series of videos that I describe each thing in my pack and what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So come along with and have a look at what I got. So in the whole spirit of my grab and go style camp pack, I keep a food bag attached to it with food in it at all times. Now, sometimes I will rotate things in and out, but for the most part, it generally has its staples. So, what I have in it right now, I have my camp cutlery, some C2 Summit camp cutlery. I like them. I think they're great. They're kind of expensive, but I like them. Right on top, bannock mix. Now, my bannock is a little bit different than a lot of other people's, I've noticed. A lot of the time people will go for like self-rising flour and salt and, you know, kind of whatever. And, you know, that's fine. I tend to like to do things, I don't know, just a little bit different, I guess. Because I think it makes a better tasting bannock. So what I do is equal parts of self-rising flour, rye flour, and spelt. Then I put some salt, a little bit of salt in it, and powdered milk, or coffee whitener, or, you know, whatever. Which I think makes a much better style of flat bread. And of course, you know, you can put the usual, you can chop up onion and cheese and whatever and put it in, and it's just fine. It's really good. Sometimes, you know, just to mix it up a little bit, I'll also put in an equal amount of cornmeal and make almost a cornbread style of bannock, which is really, really good. So there's that. And of course, you need oil to cook bannock, generally. So I have 3 flasks of oil. What I use is sort of a half and half mixture of olive oil and canola oil. So when you're cooking on a campfire, you're generally you're up around 450 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, maybe a little bit warmer. And that's a little too hot to be cooking with olive oil. But I like to cook with olive oil. I like the taste of it and whatnot. So, you know, there's obviously a little bit of a problem there. Canola oil has a cooking temperature of right around that campfire temperature. So, even though it doesn't taste as good, it's much better to cook with canola oil than with olive oil. But a half and half mixture seems to work just fine. So you still get that olive oil taste. You're not burning the oil, you know, really badly because of the canola. So that's what I do, and it seems to work just fine. Something that I rotated in a little while ago, tandoori mix. And for some reason, I thought, hey, that would go really good with duck. And you know, there are times I frequently go camping with people who have their hunting license, and they'll, you know, shoot a couple of duck or whatever. So that's why I have that in here. Normally I don't, but I really, really want to try some tandoori spice with duck. I got to do that. So, okay, I have a bag of sort of caffeinated chocolate, I guess. It's Awake milk chocolate. each chocolate is the equivalent in caffeine to half a cup of coffee. So one or two of those, you know, when you wake up before you even make coffee is, hey, why not? Then I have sort of a calorie bag, I guess you can call it. I got some little ginseng candies. I got a bunch of sugar. I've got some chicken stock and beef stock for broth. Some protein bars, chai tea. I've got a fruit punch drink mix that I haven't used yet from one of my MREs. I also have a few square yards of tinfoil and some coffee filters. You know, not only can you make coffee, you can also use it to filter water before you boil it. Or if the water is particularly murky, I'll open up my water filter, my Catadine, and I'll put a coffee filter around the filter just to catch, you know, the mud and the crud before it actually goes through the filter. Extend the life of my filter cartridge that way. Okay, I have red lentils. When I go for lentils, I generally go for the red ones. I don't know why. I don't think they taste any different from the other ones. But, you know, that's what I do. And I have rice. For this particular stock up, rather than white rice, I went with black rice. Just for something different. I also keep an MRE, pretty much at all times. This is cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. And I know these things last for like 5 years, but I generally don't let this sit around for any longer than a year. But that's not usually a problem because I spend so much time in the woods, I tend to go through those anyway. And last, I have my spice kit. I consider myself to be a pretty good cook, and I don't see why I should not be a pretty good cook in the woods over a campfire. So I bring some spices with me. And I guess it's mostly based on things that I'm likely to catch while I'm camping or whatever, and that's usually fish. So I have some lemon pepper, some dill, onion powder, white pepper, summer savory, steak spice, and 2 containers of salt. And I have made some pretty good food in the woods with that. So something to think about when you're doing your food kit. Throw in a spice rack. It doesn't have to be super big. You know, whatever you use, you go home, after your camp trip or whatever, you know, restock it before your next camp trip. Nothing wrong with that. Now, obviously that's not all I bring into the woods for a camp trip. I will usually, you know, bring in, you know, some steaks or something like that as well. But I mean, in the whole, you know, idea of grab and go, there's enough in there to get me by on a camp trip. I don't necessarily have to grab anything else if I don't want to. So that's my food kit. Thank you for watching. I hope that was enjoyable. I hope that was educational. And I hope sometimes to see you in the woods. If not, I'll see you in the next one.